Welcome to the session, How Can We Co-Create the Meta World? To understand the decolonization of AI, we shall examine how AI is colonizing the world when the algorithms and machine learning repeats patterns that reinforce all that or those already marginalized in society. When all the world starts to adapt not only to the same spoken language, but the languages expressed through symbols, images, algorithms, and all sorts of artifacts, some narratives tend to suppress others that are underrepresented in terms of language, symbols, images, and artifacts. If we think of a metaverse environment, art remains an important path to open for diverse narratives. I thank you for assigning for this session and as a part of a brainstorm that I'm proposing to question everyone, how can we co-create the meta world? I am honored to be part of the series Decolonized AI Futures with the fantastic team of Mozilla Festival engaged in rethinking AI, power and ethics. I'm Dr. Ellen Naz, a social scientist, an artist that explores various mediums and modes of expressing creativity and techniques, a researcher in design and bioethics. Thinking of high technologies, we could say that we want to redesign the world, turn it into something different than it is now. But the term co-creation makes evident that changes will not come from an enlightened group who knows the tools, has the technical and financial resources, and concentrates on access to information. Co-creation is a construction where we honor all the voices by listening to their histories, understanding their perspectives, absorbing their potentialities to grow this space together. We are used to a top-down format where judgments are made from pattern recognition, expectations of standards, and classifications. Humans use those in science and social relations to optimize their responses when interacting with others. There is no need to say the AI tries to copy it in a more organized, linear way. But every time people come to the spaces with their own experiences, identities, languages, and culture, none can even imagine the depths and multiple layers of life every person has in their mind at the present moment, right now. Consciousness happens with simultaneous lapses of memory coming from every signal, a voice, a smell, a sight, a touch, and even sensory inputs that we are not aware of. Computer science optimizes information with excellent results, while in many cases trying to optimize human behavior, habits, and beliefs has been a constant disaster. As we know, we cannot blame computers for making things worse when they replicate what humans are not good at. So I came to this virtual space with internal histories, all the experiences I had in all my life, and they are not forgotten on my subconscious as potentiality of a girl who in the past won a music festival and had an indigenous childhood and well, so what we have is, when we talk about colonization or decolonization, we talk about how the virtual space can embrace the diversity and not affect the integrity of people identities and the sense of belonging to a community, to a place where we are cared for and loved. In Ordinary Person's Guide to Empire, Arundhati Roy reminds us that insubordination comes from joy and creativity. Vandana Shiva criticizes the monoculture that threatens biodiversity, and it all comes from the mindset. Achille Mbembe argues that the roots of modern Western knowledge itself contains necropolitics. It starts with the order of things, functionality and utility combined with the scale of importance within an hierarchical system. Everybody and everything needs to be useful. Now I ask you, how useful is a rock or a cloud? How useful is the extra time I like to spend bathing in the sun, the sea, or a river? The questions could go on and on. It turns out that it is necessary but not necessarily useful for a merchandise mindset. The legacy of colonization is the success of the Industrial Revolution and the use of people and nature to feed the machines, giving the most profits to those behind the enterprises. However, we can't deny that machines carry a sexy fetish, spreading novelty and facilities to improve life and society technically. Our challenge now is how to make a system that is unequal by design work well for all. Knowledge guides science, governance, and ethical perspectives. Decolonizing knowledge is a call from many scholars, such as social scientist Boaventura de Souza Santos, with the epistemologies of the South. Decolonization therefore needs academic flexibility and the welcoming of the diversity of ideas, perceptions, and expressions. If we don't conquer that in education systems, the needed changes we advocate for society are compromised. A colonized view is the model of success, beauty, and life. People live, follow, trying to adjust with a monoculture. That said, when we break out for rooms in a few minutes, let's brainstorm about what we can do to decolonize the virtual space and co-create the meta world. Again, the colonized view as the model of success, beauty, and life people follow, trying to adjust within a monoculture. So how can we have a multicultural environment in the virtual world, as we call metaverse? So one thing to remember is the virtual world happens all the time on our consciousness, through our memories and imagination. The experiences we live daily mature in our subconscious. If you don't want to be a victim of the cognitive war, allow your daily life to experience different visions and movements. There are also some activities to increase awareness, such as meditation and finding the methodology that works better for you when digesting and reflecting on all the information that you seek or just come to you. So I leave you with these questions. Can we have multiculturalism within a monoculture? Can we have designs, the designs of the spaces representing our perspectives of living and well-being? How can this space give us a sense of belonging, or will we detach entirely from the need of belonging to a community?